Hello, CQ, the old friends, and that time for the Sunday edition of the Old Friends Get Together. The Old Friends meet 3 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m., Sundays at 4 p.m., always the same frequency, 3715 plus or minus vintage gear. The Old Friends Net is Amplitude Modulation only, and while we hope that you're restoring or using something vintage, anybody that can generate an AM signal is welcome to participate. It's also carried out in the old-fashioned roundtable format. I will check in several times during the net and make sure we don't miss anybody. And it's a great place to, if you got something you want to sell or something you want to buy or need some info, this is a great place to ask and offer. So, for those wishing to participate, please give W4MEC a call. Come now.
Good afternoon, Charlie, WA4LLR.
N4LQ.
WF2U.
WB4ARK.
K3OS.
WB4NKL.
N4IYQ. K4JAL.
WA4EVK.
KZ4 Bravo.
KF4DRN.
KF4BY.
Alrighty. So, I don't know if it's conditions or both Greg and Cliff are running low power, but they're pretty weak in here. So far, we got Dave, WA4LLR, Steve, N4LQ, Mir, WF2U, Buddy, WB4ARK, Gary, K3OS, Cliff, WB4NKL, Chuck, N4IYQ, and there was a heterodyne on him. That might have been a weaker station. We'll find out in a minute. After Chuck, we got Jimmy, K4JAL, then Boone, WA4EVK, John, KZ4B, and Greg, KF4DRN. I think, Stan, is it, KF4BY? I made 2 4s instead of an F. K4BY, breaker. Okay, so that's what we got so far. Who did I miss?
Yeah, K1VVC.
Got John, anybody else? Was that Mir key in this transmitter, or was that somebody trying to check in? Alright, my TR switch was slowly sliding backwards on the transmitter. I had to go stop it there. Alright, this is W4MEC and the Old Friends, and here is the rotation. So make a note who you come after and who you hand it to. We got LLR, LQ, 2U, ARK, OS, NKL, IYQ, JAL, EVK, 4 Bravo, DRN, BY, and VVC. All right. Now I got 2 F's and no 4s. There we go. Okay. Rough day. All right, fellas. Good signals all around. Everybody's copyable. Both, like I mentioned, both Greg and Cliff are a little light here, so being that way is probably conditions. Because usually when Cliff's on there running his 20 watts, he booms in here, but not this afternoon. But he is at least Q5. Well, we got 51 or so degrees here, more or less clear, with some contrails that have been slowly evolving into massive clouds. So I guess there's seediness as some conspiracy theorists think the contrails are all about, so I'll go along with it. So let's see, what else? Let's get started with Dave, WA4LLR, and the group, W4MEC.
All right, fine business, Charlie. W4MEC and the old friends, WA4LLR. Well, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well, and happy winter solstice to you. This is one of my favorite days because it means that beginning tomorrow, the days start getting longer by an average of 2 to 3 minutes a day. So I always look forward to that. I'm not a pagan by any means, but I do like longer days, so I rejoice when the winter solstice comes around. Anyway, 45 degrees, partly cloudy, breezy, cool up here in the eastern jungles of Yancey County. I'm running the Harvey Wells TBS 50D, a little help from the SB 220, and receiving on the Drake 2A. So, Steve, here it comes, N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ, very good. Harvey sounds good today. Dave and Charlie sounding good, and I'm on the DX100B, which is back on the air again after blowing out some resistors. I think the problem was one of the 1625 modulator tubes must have been shorting, filament the cathode or something, and it was blowing the resistor out. Lose your modulation that way. The cathode resistor for the modulator tubes was the voltage divider, or the shunt resistor for the meter. So anyway, that seems to be holding up so far. The exciting thing going on around here is all the plumbing that I've had to do myself. I had been trying for several years to get a plumber to install a whole house water filter, and also to clean my tankless water heater, which has been in service for about 4 years now and has never been cleaned, and you're supposed to do it annually. Well, nobody seemed to be interested. They would say that, well, they'd be back, or they'd call me with a price, but they never would actually come out and do it. So I've decided to pursue both. I got the water filter, and I got all the tools I needed to do this PEX plumbing. And yesterday I tore into it, and it went very, very smooth. I had to buy some special tools, and they were a good investment, so I'm ready to take on the PEX now. And the cleaning of the hot water heater involves purchasing a submersible pump that you put in a bucket, and you put 3 gallons of white vinegar in the bucket, 2 washing machine hoses, both have go-to connections on the water heater, and you've got 4 valves on the water heater. You activate, run the thing for about an hour and drain it, flush it out, and that's supposed to get all the gunk out of it. So that'll be a fun project for tomorrow. I got everything coming in tonight from Walmart, and we should be good to go. So looking forward to that, and over to Mir, WF2U, N4LQ.
Yeah, Roger, N4LQ and the net. This is WF2U. Good afternoon, everybody. A nice afternoon, and the temperature here is 60 degrees. Signals are good. Almost everybody is around the same level, which is between 10 to 20 dB over 9. And I have yet to see anybody going below 10 over. So a good afternoon in that regard too. And running the old Yaesu stuff. Again, I've been playing with another setup. Just I wanted to match a receiver to one of the old boat anchors. and I've been playing with it. I'll I'll tell about it a little bit later. And I heard some of that water heater story, which is a good, it's a good effort and a good result of working on it, as long as there is no leak, and Steve reported no leaks and everything is working fine, so that's a pretty good achievement, and he should be satisfied. So anyway, so I'm running the Yaesu FR 101 Delta receiver, which is the version with a digital readout, with a Yaesu FL 101, which is the transmitter, and right now the receiver is slaved to the transmitter VFO, so I'm on transceive now, basically with one VFO, and this is going into the Yaesu FL 2100 B amplifier, which is putting out about 320 watts on voice peaks. So the antenna is my usual end-fed half wave for 80 meters. So with that, I'll give reports later when I have everybody's reports. If anybody's not within the 10 to 20 dB over S9, I'll make a special note of it. So, buddy, it's your turn. WB4ARK on the net. This is WF2U.
WF2U, WB4ARK. Okay, Mir. Well, I wonder, Steve, if you're on well water, or are you on city water? And we're on well water, of course, and the filter that was installed by the people that installed the well in the holding tank was a 3-inch diameter, and it's just not enough to take care of collecting all the silt. So I installed a second filter. Well, actually, it's probably only a 2-inch diameter filter, the original, and so I installed a 3-inch diameter filter ahead of that, and so now I've got 2 filters in series with each other. So that really does do the job. It does not pass any silt. That's that dark gray looking rock material that collects in the filter. It doesn't pass any of that to the second, the original filter at all. And so I really like this setup. I don't have to change the filter as often, and so that's the tail of that. We also have a filter for our irrigation that's out at the wellhead, and but it gets clogged up pretty quickly, and so I have to purge that filter quite often, probably twice a week, to keep the water flowing to the irrigation system correctly. And but there's not much I can do about that except change the level of the pump in the hole. Probably bring it up about 2 or 3 feet. See if I can drop the silt level down. So with that, we'll turn it over to Gary, K3OS, WB4ARK.
All right, buddy, WB4ARK, K3OS. Hey, afternoon, everybody. From cloudy Hickory at the moment. I think it's in the 50-degree range, but not terrible. Got back late last night, and I mean late, like 11:30, from about 4 days over in New Orleans. My brother had flown in from the UK for a conference, and we went down and met him there and spent some time in New Orleans. Finally got to see the World War II Museum, for those who have not been there. Clearly something, if you're interested in that stuff, is really fabulous place down in New Orleans to see. I run propane here, and my propane guy will do the propane company will do the on-demand hot water heater clean out. In fact, I'm due to call them and schedule that. So I've had them do it before, so I don't have to do that one. And I too have, even though I'm on city water, I run a standard one of these, I don't know, 4-inch filters. But I use the carbon filter just to get out the chlorine and all that stuff. Before moving here, I had a house on a well and really loved that water, man, I'll tell you. So I can't stand the chlorine, so I'm using that filter to get rid of the chlorine, and that does a really good job. So that's the story from Hickory on down to Cliff. WB4NKL. How things over in Limestone, K3OS.
K3OS, WB4NKL. Okay, Gary, good copy on everybody. Everything's pretty nice here in Limestone today. It's got up to 53 degrees and quite pleasant. No wind blowing, so mostly sunny. Charlie, I'm running about the usual here, the Globe King 500s, I guess, and everything. All the meters look right, so I guess it's just conditions there on the signal strength. Looks like I got a pretty good copy on everybody here at this location. So I'll send it on over to Chuck. Go ahead, neighbor. N4 IYQ. It's WB4NKL.
Okay, WB4NKL, my neighbor at N4 IYQ. Good afternoon to everybody on the Old Friends Net. Charlie, thanks for calling the net. I always appreciate the net control operators. I'm showing 50 degrees and a little bit cloudy, so I don't know if I've got a big cloud laying over me versus Cliff, because we're not that far apart. We're on the multi-LMAC AF68, driving the SB221 at about 310 watt carrier, receiving on the PMR8. Good signals on everybody all the way around. Of course, Cliff always makes stuff jump when he keys. And prior to Cliff, Buddy had the strongest signal so far over here. Don't have a signal or S meter, but do have a relative meter. I guess I'll put it that way. But good copy on to everybody. Hope everybody's had a good week. And interesting on the cleaning the tankless water heater. It's on over the hill to Jimmy, K4JAL in Burnsville, N4 IYQ. Go ahead, James.
N4 IYQ, K4JAL. Well, good morning or afternoon, everybody. You can tell what kind of day I'm having. It's a beautiful day. I'm on the ART-13 in the Drake 2A as usual. Hope everybody's hearing me well. Cliff, you were the same level you're always been here, so something else is going on between here and Hendersonville. I wanted to make a comment. Dave, I really enjoyed the snowman cartoon you put on Facebook. That'll be an inside story between you and me. So let's give it to Boone. WA4EVK, K4JAL. Over to you, Boone.
K4JL in the group, WA4EVK. Thank you, Jimmy. Great signals in here today all the way around. Cliff, you're coming in here with your usual strong one. No problem there at all. Well, it's been a really nice day here in Pickens. I got lazy. I was going to do a little antenna work, sat down in my recliner, and did manage to wake up in time for the net, but that was about it. Not much other than that going on. Steve, I'm kind of the same boat you were in, or was in. I called the plumber that I usually deal with to fix a leak, and while he was here, he said, you know, I don't have any record of you having that water heater I sold you cleaned out, that tankless water heater. He said, how about we clean it while we're here? And that'd been 4 years. So now I've got him set up to come in once a year. I'm just going to leave that one to him. My only problem is I've got to schedule ahead of time now. He took over as lead instructor at the local trades center, teaching center, so you know, a little harder to get him by here. And with that, I'm going to send it on over to John, KZ4 Bravo, WA4EVK.
Okay, fine there, Jim, Boone. This is KZ4 Bravo. Conditions today seem to be quite good, which is always nice. And I'm on the usual T150, driving a AL82. And I have a question for Steve. Are you on propane or natural gas? I know a flash heater won't work on electricity because it takes too many kilowatts to do the job. You need gas. So which is it? And when I was working for Midrex at the technical center, we had a 30 kiloamp power supply at 100 volts, which was like something like 3 megawatts, and it had SCR power control, variable power, and it took in city water, heated or cooled the SCRs, and then we dumped it in a field rather than back in a drain. And the EPA, being the assholes that they were, I don't think they are anymore, but they made us every day go down and take a sample of the discharge, and all it was city water, because all it was doing was cooling this power supply. And we got in such a spat with them that finally the EPA shut. Well, we were storing product which was reduced iron ore in drums, and we had all these drums stacked up, and they couldn't stand that, so they shut us down and shut down the whole R&D facility. And so the power supply became scrap, and I got a bunch of really neat electrolytic capacitors out of that. The SCRs were so big that I had no use for it. But anyway, we used filters, even though it was city water, we use filters to clean the water because the SCRs, being fairly warm, would get deposits. And when that all got shot down, I got the filters. And these were 4-inch diameter filters. They were about a foot long each. And I had a heat pump that used water, well water, to cool the heat pump when it was in the air conditioning mode. It actually heated the water in the summertime. And so anyway, these filters work great. And I got several cases of them, huge boxes. And I still have a bunch of them because I have a real major silt problem here because my pump is set below the aquifer. So, and that showers the pump with silt. And I used to use a pre-filter that was a centrifugal filter where I had to dump the silt out of the centrifugal filter pretty much monthly. And then I had these membrane filters, medium filters, to chase that, to keep crap out of my water system. And now that I don't use a water-cooled heat pump, I'm air to air now, because it was a nightmare trying to keep up with it. But I've still got these filters, and they last about, I really, once a year is about all I need to do now with normal water usage. The heat pump absolutely had to have 4 to 6 gallons an hour, and so it really ate filters and drove me crazy. So that's my saga on filters. Very quickly, I just replaced the battery in my 2019 Santa Fe, Hyundai Santa Fe. And the battery charged nicely. So I think the battery was still good, but it was over between 5 and 6 years old. It's an AGM battery, and they last a lot better than regular lead acid. Usually they're called calcium based normal wet cell car batteries. And I replaced it because I couldn't figure out why the car was discharging on my wife. And after I changed the battery, and I could barely lift the new battery, it was 52.5 pounds. And it was hell getting it out and hell getting it back in. So I am truly a 90-pound weakling. But anyway, I discovered that if you lock the car, that it guarantees that everything is shut off. If you don't lock you can immediately unlock it, and it stays shut off. But she never locked the car, and the stuff's, even though she turned it off, it wouldn't go off. But if you lock it, it would go off. So I think we figured out what the problem was. So there was a little life left in that battery, but the whole idea was that if I had to take it to a dealer, I didn't want the dealer to charge me double for the battery and a fortune just to change it when I could do that on my own, barely. So anyway, it's knock on wood, it seems to be behaving. If she turns the car off, locks it, now she doesn't have to leave it locked, she can unlock it if she wants to. But the stuff stays off. So I have rambled on more than enough. So let's see here. KZ. Okay, Greg, take it away. KS4DRN and the group KZ4B, over.
KZ4B from KF4DRN. I hope everyone's copying me. I'm running the Harvey Wells. Done a little repair on it the other day, and I got lucky. I had a 5-watt 10K ohm resistor, and I put that in there. I'm on it right now, so using the signal generator again as a BFO temporarily, of course. And I got the MagnaCraft coaxial relay hooked up, and muting relay hooked up good in the receiver, the R388, and it's all working like it's supposed to now. It's instantaneous, and that's what it takes. Anyway, I'll make this my last one, but good to be in here. And Chuck, I'm on the microphone that I got from you there. I hope it sounds okay. But good to hear everybody, and I'm getting good signals on everybody so far. Anyway, with that, I'll say 7-3 till next time around. And this KF4DRN, let's see, KF4BY, I believe it is. Stan, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. KF4BY, to take it, KF4DRN.
All right, Greg, you're absolutely correct. KF4DRN, KF4BY Stan in Piedmont, South Carolina, just about a mile south of Moonville High. Good evening, good afternoon to everyone. This is probably my first AM contact in decades, and certainly interested in any comments you have about the audio or the signal. We're 100% Collins this afternoon with a 32 V3 and the 75 A4, so brand new to me as far as AM. My last AM activity was probably as a general class back in the late 60s, so we're trying to get back into the vintage stuff, which we really enjoy working on, and have some other rigs. Got a DX100 needs some attention. We'll get to that maybe one of these days and see what we can do with it. Gaining some knowledge on water systems, filtering, and instant hot water heaters this afternoon. That's good information for me as well. Charlie, thanks for calling it, and just enjoy riding along. Everybody has really good signals, and I'd certainly be interested in any comments you have on the audio. We're showing a 100 watts carrier and connected to an off-center fed 80-meter dipole. With that, we'll send it over to John. K1VVC to take it, KF4BY.
Yeah, sounds great, Stan. KN4BY, K1VVC. Enjoyed having you over the other day. We always have a good visit. And I only have 2 words to describe your audio. Sounds great. It sounds just fine. So glad to have you on AM for a change, and I hope you can make it more often. You know, I don't think any of us got a few more decades before you can come back again. Anyhow, beautiful day here today, 59 degrees right now, and kind of a relaxing weekend. So with that, Charlie, back to you. W4MEC, K1VVC.
Okay, very good, John. K1VVC and the Old Friends Group. W4MEC. Do you have any late check-ins that would like to join us? Come now.
This is WB3AKC.
WA7 DIA.
Okay. Let's see. Oh shoot, where'd my glasses go? I wrote it in my other log. The WB3. I know you've checked in before. I had you written down, but I must have been in my other logbook at the DX, at the ART-13. So I missed the call. I got WB3H, I think, and then WB7, and I missed the suffix there. I thought you were DIA. Or is that you, Jack? Go ahead.
Yes, it is, Charlie. WA7 DIA. Finally got some good conditions, and the schedule let me check in.
Okay, let me get the other guy, the WB3. One more time.
This is WB3AKC Jack.
Okay, WB3HHC Jack, and we got W7 DIA. It's been a long time for DIA. And so go ahead, HHC, go ahead and tell us where you are and your name, and then turn it over to Jack, WA7 DIA, make a transmission, and turn it back to me, please. WB3HHC and W4MEC.
W4MEC, WB3AKC. Hello, everybody. I just got another short tank water heater over here a couple months back since we're doing water heaters. Name here is Jack, Juliet Alpha Charlie Kilo. Everybody's coming in great today. I had one of these cabinet water heaters that looked like a washer and dryer. I'd never seen one before, and it went bad, and I had to get a short, fat one like me to go and replace it. Right now, I don't have the electric service to handle a tankless heater. So that's a story here, still using the ICOM IC706 into an EdFed antenna. I think it's 130 feet long, maybe 30 vertical, and the rest of it horizontal, sloping too close to the ground. So other than that, I believe that was W7 DIA. Good to hear it, everybody.
Yeah, WB3HHC and the whole thing, that's from WA7 DIA. Good afternoon, everybody. Name is Jack, located in Warner Robins, Georgia. And long time since I checked in. Usually I've been turning on the radio, and signals are pretty weak. And but today conditions are very, very good. Topping about 90% of the stations on the net very well this afternoon. Using a BC375, 50 watts output, into the station dipole up about 50 feet. So that's it from here. W4MEC and the old friend is that from WA7 DIA.
Very good, WA7 DIA and the old friends group, W4MEC. Good signal, Jack. It just sounds like you might be using a carbon mic, but good signal anyway. I got to get my 375 on the air right here one of these days. Let's see. I'll tell you what, John. I think you were about ready to violate the commercial station ID timing on that transmission. What, do you got an ID every hour on a commercial station? You were getting close. Let's see. Filters. Well, I was lucky up until Helene. I never needed a filter or anything on my well water. The well goes back to the 1800s, where the old original homestead was. It was hand dug, and at some point in the past, someone actually drove a well down with a casing, and that's what's been being used ever since. They had a spring house and everything in the stream, but after Helene, my water silted up orange, and I had to get a filter. And at first, I was changing that thing once a month, and really, this last time I changed it, I just went ahead and changed it. It was orange, but it hadn't slowed the water down any. And when I opened the valve to let the water go on the filter, of course it's clear, the container is clear, it came back. The water was absolutely perfectly clear. And before, the last time I changed it was in October when I opened the valve. The water came in and the filter went immediately orange. So maybe after a year or so, it's finally starting to clear out. And my son has got it worse. He's got a sediment filter first, and then he's got a triple set up there. I forget what they are, but one of them removes iron, one of them removes silt, and there's a third one. They're all in big manifolds. And three big old filters. They're about 18 inches long, and he changes them every couple of months, and he needs it because its water is terrible. This whole area here is known for springs, and I know a man that is a well driller, and you know, well drillers know where the water is and where the problems are, and he said this particular area of Henderson County is absolutely awful for anybody that wants to build a house with a basement. You're guaranteed a nightmare if you put a basement under here because there's so many springs. And my son, on a heavy rain like Helene or one we had a year ago where it flooded here, there was two spots in his yard where the water was shooting out of the ground like a geyser. That's how the streams are, how the springs are around here. So I'm glad he doesn't have to put up with that much. And wind, I just looked out the window when I think Cliff mentioned wind, and I said, it's not windy here. And about that time, my feed line to the 160-meter inverted V went sailing by the window. I said, wait a minute, it's windy out there. So, and Cliff, both of you and Greg came up tremendously on that go-around, and he, what was interesting was Chuck was just as loud as normal, and you weren't. So I thought maybe you were running a low-power rig, but that time you were booming through, so this is some weird thing. So let's get back around here. I don't know if we'll make it completely around again, where we have an official 73 round and on the third go-around, but we'll see how far we get here before 5 o'clock. WA4LLR in the group, W4MEC.
All right, Charlie, fine business. W4MEC, WA4LR, and good afternoon to a pair of jacks. Both of them are sounding good up here, and the BC375 is doing a good job. John, glad you had a relaxing weekend, and Stan, good to hear you on AM. 32V3 sounds good. I'd say the audio is pristine, so it's wonderful. Greg, if you're still listening, the mic you got from Mark there sounds really good on the Harvey. John, I agree, conditions are good, and it's interesting because we're having a minor geomagnetic storm, so interesting. Boone, I know what you mean about those recliners. They're dangerous. You can oversleep in them. And yeah, Jimmy, I got a kick out of that snowman cartoon. Mark PF 68 sounds good as always, and Cliff, so does the Globe King. Gary, I'm like you. I can't stand chlorine. One of the things I hate is going to a restaurant and order water, and when it comes, you can smell the chlorine before they even hand it to you. Man, that's just, and Buddy, like you, I run 2 filters in series, and that works really well. Mira, the Yaesu sounds good. And Steve, good deal on taking up PEX plumbing. I was going to comment on your water heater flush. If you don't want to wait the extended period of time using white vinegar, any of the plumbing supplies has a little container of descaling solution that will cut your time to about 20 minutes. Just put it in about a gallon of water and circulate that through for about 20 minutes, flush for about 5 to 10, and you're done. I think you have the Renai model. Make sure that you clean that little metal screen filter where the cold water goes in, the little black knob there. You have to unscrew. I descaled water heaters as a contractor for several years with a local gas company. So, yeah, I definitely recommend a yearly descaling. Sounds like you've got all the equipment you need. Let's see, and Charlie, I noticed an increase in silt after Helene as well. Space weather, well, let's see, sunspot count's 74, solar flux index is 120, and the K index is 5. So a little bit of geomagnetic instability going on. A few things from this day in history. On this day in 1891, gym teacher James Naismith organized the first game of basketball. That was in Springfield, Massachusetts. On this day in 2017, Bruce McCandless passed away at the age 80. He was the first person to conduct an untethered free flight in space in one of those maneuvering backpacks. On this day in 1988, Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland. On this day in 1968, Apollo 8 launched from Cape Kennedy, and this was the first time men had left Earth's gravitational field and orbited another celestial body. First time man looked on the dark, or the black backside of the moon, if I can talk this afternoon. On this day in 1945, George Patton died in an automobile accident in Germany. On this day in 1913, New York World published the first modern crossword puzzle. And on this day in 1898, Marie Curie discovered radium. So that's enough from this day in history. Here it comes, Steve, N4LQ, WA4LLR.
Yeah, WA4LLR. This is off frequency. N4LQ. On this day in San Francisco, just reading about this, they had a widespread power outage, 130,000 people without power, and all the self-driving vehicles shut down because the traffic lights were out, and the self-driving vehicles don't know what to do. They just stopped right in the middle of the road, and they had traffic jams everywhere. That's interesting. Just read that. Let's see. Reports on signals all signals are good and strong, no problem. I thought Greg's Harvey Wells sounded exceptionally good with that microphone, I suppose. Stan's 32V3, the audio is rich and clear and clean. Excellent audio, and I think it's true for just about all the 32Vs that I have ever heard. And let's see, Jack W7DIA, that audio isn't very good. You probably can look at that. Charlie mentioned a carbon mic, but it sounds worse than a carbon mic. So I hate to give bad audio reports, but anyway, there you go, Boone. You're exceeding 15 kcs wide. Looking at the spectrum here, and but that's been that way for some time. I don't know if it's the linear amplifier isn't linear or what. But Chuck, your AF68 sounds beautiful, very good. And let's see, somebody asked a question about, Buddy asked if I was on city water. I am on city water. It's pretty good water. When the plumber installed our system, I asked him to put in a filter, and he said, well, what you really need is a sediment filter. So I went ahead with that. It's just a little 2-inch fabric thing. I mean, it's just not much to it, and it never collected much of anything. It's clear. You can see it. It's got a valve on the bottom. You just drain the water out, and after about 6 months, you'd see just a little bit, but not much. But I could always taste chlorine. I thought, well, I'm going to get rid of that and put this, and this is a Culligan, just a regular water filter. It's 4.5-inch diameter, 10-inch long. I think the replacement cartridges are the same for all kinds of different brands, and it didn't cost much. It was only about $50. Then I think the filter cost about $30 or something like that. But the thing just goes in line with the main line, and so this morning I made a cup of coffee, and it was absolutely improved. I mean, it really tasted well, actually like restaurant coffee. Every time I go out to eat, I notice how much better it tastes, especially at Golden Corral. And I've got a K-cup machine here, and the Keurig, the coffee was just not good. It had a bite to it, and that's gone. Now this stuff tastes great, so it helped. And let's see, somebody else asked a question. Propane, no, I'm on natural gas. It's a Rene water heater, and it uses 200,000 BTU. 200,000 BTU. It's like more than the average furnace in the house. It doesn't use it for long, but boy, when it does, look out. So anyhow, I won't tie it up any more than necessary. I'll turn it over to Mir, WF2U, N4LQ.
N4LQ is the net. This is WF2U. Well, signals are pretty good, and good to hear you, Jack. On this net, your signal is hitting about S8 to 9. Not bad. A little QSP. And I'm so used to listening to carbon mics that I only noticed, okay, it sounds like a carbon mic, period. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, John, I didn't give you a report yet, but you are 5 and S, let me look at my notes. Yeah, you were plus 15. And who else I didn't give reports? Well, everybody else is between S9 plus 10 to 20, the whole range. Let's see who else was here. KF4BYN, no, KF4DRN, S9, and John KZ4B 15 overnight. All right, so that wraps up the reports. I've been playing with one of my old radios that I had for ages, because I was just getting another vintage receiver ready to put another AM station online, and I remembered that I didn't have my old Navy RA07 receiver powered up for like 15 years at least, and it's a nice receiver. It looks similar to the National NC100, but it has additional circuits, and it has an extra RF stage to satisfy the old Navy regulations of not radiating the local oscillator, and that's in a completely separate isolated compartment, isolated electromagnetically, and it has actually a pretty good noise limiter, and the crystal filter is pretty nice. So I brought it up yesterday on a Variac. I knew that I didn't have to worry about the electrolytics in the power supply because it has no electrolytics. That model has all oil caps, and looked at the specs. It has it draws an average of 60 watts. So it took me about 15-20 minutes to go up slowly. Finally, it blasted a nice audio on medium waves, and that's where it was set. And draws exactly 60 watts, measured on the kilowatt device. So I left it on for about a couple of hours. The consumption didn't change. Nothing changed. I started to listen. It works pretty nicely. And also on CW, it's pretty stable. And I need to do a little tune-up because the 160 meter band and the 40-meter band and also the 80-meter band are both exactly the same, about 100 kilohertz off from the dial. So I have to go through the alignment procedure. I have the manual, no problem. It's pretty easy. So that's what I'll do, and otherwise it sounds really good, and I'm very happy with it. I have to take the bezel off because that old plexiglass, transparent glass over the dial is so yellow that I can barely see the dial, and it shrank a little bit, as usually that vintage stuff does. I have a same thickness, nice new acrylic sheet. I just have to cut out the proper shape, glue it in, the bezel, put it in, and here I go. So a nice vintage receiver to go. It's only 59 pounds. So anyway, with that, I guess it's getting late, so I'll say 73 to everybody, just in case we don't have another chance for a 73 round. And thanks, Charlie, for running the net, and it was nice to hear everybody. And the band was really pretty nice today. So with that, it goes to Buddy, WB4ARK, and the group. This is WF2U.
WF2U, WB4ARK. Okay, Mir. Very good copy on your signal today, as most of the other signals. A couple that could not copy. But anyway, Jack, WA7DIA, I thought your signal sounded really good, contrary to what was stated before. I thought your audio sounded quite good with the microphone you were using. It was a good, clean signal. Just a little low in level. And Stan, WAF4BY, your signal, K4FBY, your signal was very good with your 32V3. I had to run downstairs right after my first transmission to see how the Panthers were doing. It was almost 2 minutes when I came up here to get ready for the net, and I knew the game probably was over. And I would like to say that they won by 3 points, so that's great. They beat the Buccaneers by 3 points, so they were tied, and the Buccaneers were 7-7, and the Panthers were 7-7. So that's fantastic. Let's see. John, I think your battery situation was maybe a little bit different than what you described. You said that you started locking the car, and the problem of discharging the battery went away, but I wonder, that had been going on for quite some time, apparently, from what you had described. So I wonder if that was the actual reason for your battery issue, because your battery had started to go bad here recently, and and you put in a new battery, and then you started locking the car. Well, I wonder if that was the real reason that you had the issue to start with. I think you had a bad battery to start with. So anyway, I'm going to say 73, and thanks, Charlie, for calling the net. And I'm today running the 4400 modulated by a pair of 4125s, and the exciter is a Collins 310B. Receiver's an SX115. So with that, I'm going to say 73 and get out of here and not be accused of hogging the net. So over to K3OS, WB4ARK.
All right, buddy. WB4ARK and the group from K3OS. Just look at my, I wonder sometimes why my reflected meter goes up every now and then. But anyway, I'm running the, I forgot to mention, I'm running the Gonset twins like I generally do here, running them barefoot. Somewhere around, I guess 40, 45 watts here is what it's showing. And thanks for the spoiler alert. we had taped the Panthers game, but that's okay. My wife, I think, is watching. I watched the first half. I didn't catch the second half. She's watching the rest of it. But it's fun. Anyway, I'm going to say 73s to everybody. 2 Jacks, and Stan, nice to make your acquaintance. My name is Gary. I'm up over in the western part here in Hickory, in the foothills of North Carolina. Everybody's sounding pretty good here today. And nice that signals levels are really good. Flip over to you, and everybody have a good evening. WB4NKL, K3OS.
Okay, Gary K3OS. It's WB4NKL. I enjoyed it. Had learned a lot about the water heaters and the plumbing, and I'm on the city water here, so we don't really have a much of a problem, except I do have chlorine, but I just don't drink it. We usually use the bottled stuff. We had a filter one time that sprung a leak while we were gone, and the wife said no more filters. Flooded the basement. So that's the way that went. 73s, and thanks for calling it, Charlie, and we'll look for everybody there Tuesday. Go ahead, Chuck. N4IYQ, WB4NKL.
Okay, WB4NKL and the old friends, N4IYQ. Nice net, enjoyed getting to hear everybody. Good strong signals, good band conditions. Thanks for the history lesson there, Brother Dave. And we won't catch you Tuesday, maybe we'll catch you Thursday. I seem to recall that there'll be a net on Thursday, even though it's Christmas, but you can clarify that. Charlie, thanks for calling it. 73 all the way around. K4JAL, Jimmy, to pick it up and take it, N4IYQ. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
N4IYQ, K4JAL. Well, bye, everybody that's gone. I'm going to be gone, too. I wanted to say, Cliff, we've used the little faucet filters that do a good job on taking lead and chlorine out. Used them for years, and of course there's no danger of them bursting and flooding things because you turn it off of the tap. That's all I got. I'll give it over to Boone. Boone, I hope you have a good evening. Sounds like you already had your nap. WA4EVK K4JAL 73.
K4JL in the group, WA4EVK. Yeah, Jimmy, I think it'll be a pretty good one, and the nap was, I enjoyed that, and I'm not going to keep it long. Steve, I cranked the audio back. We'll see if that did any improvement. I'll talk to you later about it or whatever, or maybe afterwards if you got time. That's it. Enjoyed it, gentlemen, and I'm going to send it on over to John, KZ4 Bravo, WA4EVK.
Okay, WA4EDK in the group, KZ4B Fine Business, Chuck, and Boone, Buddy. The only thing that threw me off is usually when an old battery sulfates, it won't take a charge. And this battery, when the wife would come to me and say it's run down, won't crank the car, I put the charger on it. I've got a 150 amp switching power supply charger that will continuously charge at a 40 amp rate if necessary. And it would always come up 40 amps, peg it. And of course it would drop down quickly, but it would take a charge like gangbusters. So that tells me the battery was still good. And I had the fan, I think Steve mentioned that the fan is supposed to come on. If you turn the fan off, it's supposed to run for 10 minutes and then shut off automatically. Well, my fan just kept running. It wouldn't, 20 minutes later, the fan's still running. But if you would lock the car, so there may be something wrong with the control, probably the computer in the car, but if you lock it, then everything stays turned off. So, I may not have fixed it, but that gimmick seems to guarantee that a possibly screwed up computer behaves itself. Or it could be that I'm wrong and the battery, which looks pretty good, was not keeping things up well enough. But so far so good. So as long as I've got a fix, I'm a happy camper. So I'm gonna pass it on since I hogged so much time last time. Thanks for calling the net, Charlie, and everybody have a very Merry Christmas, and if some reason I miss you, a very Happy New Year. So, Greg, it's all yours. KS4B, and I apologize for screwing up your call. KS4BY and the group KZ4B. Clear but listening.
All right, John. KZ4B, KF4BY. Very good. Good copy on everybody. I don't have my S-meter calibrated yet, but everybody's way over S9. Good copy all the way around. Gary, we have met before at the last luncheon. My wife and I sat right beside you back there against the window, so you may recall that. We have met before. And John, you got skin in this game as far as the good comments on the audio and the signal. John was kind enough to help me source a final tube for the 32V3. I've had this rig for years, and life just kept getting in the way, and I was finally able to spend some quality time with it and get it working. And I appreciate all the kind comments. We'll go to work on the DX100 one of these days. We also have a Ranger 2 and a RME 6900 in the rack behind me. We're getting that wired up. I'd like to get that on the air as well. And thanks for taking on an old newbie today. We'll try to get here more often. The morning nets are. I haven't had enough coffee to be able to make sense at 8 o'clock in the morning. But we'll certainly get here when we can on Sunday afternoons, and we've met most of you, I think, at the luncheons, although I don't make it every month. With that, I'm going to say 73, and John, we'll get over there again after the holidays and see what problems we can solve, and enjoy it as always when we can chat. With that, I'm going to say 73 and wish everybody a safe and enjoyable and blessed Christmas and Happy New Year. If I don't talk to you, I will be out of town some later in the month, so may not hear from me for a week or two, but we'll be back. John, to you. K1VVC, KF4BY. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, he usually bails about 5, so let's see if Jack 1 is still there. WB3AKC, W4MEC.
This is WB3AKC. Was that me that sounded like a carbon mic? That's probably pretty flat.
Negative, you sound fine.
I don't know what happened there. I guess AKC's rig quit. WA7DIA, pick it up.
Okay, W4ABC. For the open, we got WA7DIA. Okay, well, thanks for the comments on the 375. These 375s are not known for being super high quality on AM. They're very critical of neutralization tuning, and quite frankly, this transmitter may not be perfectly neutralized on this frequency. But last time I neutralized it was up on 3885, so and I'm running about 60 watts of carrier, so it may not be able to fully modulate 100%. That's just one of the natures of these old beasts. Okay, very good conditions today. I'm hearing everybody, with very few exceptions, S9 or well over S9. Conditions are very good today. And in the past, I tried to listen in, but was getting poor conditions, or for a long time I just wasn't able to make it at 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. With that, I'll say 73 to everybody, and wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and hope to make it on the net here again pretty soon. W4MEC and the old friends, that's WA7DIA.
Very good, Jack. WA7DIA and the old friends, W4MEC. Yeah, I've got one of those ICOM older T90As that does a shortwave band and receives AM and FM. And I use it to neutralize my 375. I put it on frequency and set it on FM mode and make that adjustment, and it is quite amazing to listen to it when it's a little out and it sounds, you got a darn FM transmitter. And make that adjustment until you get absolutely zero audio on FM and makes the AM sound great. So I opened my Mohawk receiver up here to 5 kC wide, and he sounded a lot better on that when I had it narrowed down a little bit. So, and Stan, actually, I've been keeping a list since the 90s, since I started checking in here, and you're only on page 2. So back in the 90s, you were checking in. So, and it's a 4x6 file card separator, you know, manila-looking thing, and I've got the whole page with Fritz, W4, and actually Harry, K4HU was the first one. Fritz was second. But you're on page 2, so you're not too far down the list from the 90s there. So I was glad to have you back with us on the air, and that rig sounds good. Thanks for everybody that checked in today. We will look for you on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock, and hope you have a good rest of the evening here. 7-3 all, W4MEC, shutting down the old Friends Net. Bye-bye.
Well, WA4EVK and 4LQ.
WA4EVK, how's it going?
Hey, okay. Yeah, I'd be glad to watch the scope here if you want to. I got a feeling it's, I don't think it's your audio that much. I think it's maybe overdriving the linear, but I wonder if you could just switch the linear off and just let me hear the radio by itself.
Roger that. I'll do it right now. Okay, Steve, linear's out of the circuit. How does it sound now?
Oh man, it sounds like a totally different radio. Very good audio now. Something's going on with the amount of drive or something, I guess.
Yeah, maybe I'm overdriving it. I hope that's what's going on. Quite a bit difference in power level. Probably about 15 watts right now. It shouldn't overdrive it, but maybe I've got a mismatch between the AF68 and the linear over.
Are your did you turn the linear back on?
No,
Oh, that's weird. I kind of started doing it again. Yeah, you're out there. Not as bad, but I got a feeling that maybe what about the grid bias? Let's see. I don't guess you got any way of checking that though.
No, I can turn the grid back a little bit.
Well, I'm thinking of the modulator. I forgot. Does that shows the modulator current, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, does it? Yeah, it sure does.
So the idling current, I can't remember what it's supposed to be. Wasn't it something like 30 milliamps or something?
I'm not sure, Steve. May just have the thing misadjusted. Over.
Yeah. Well, there isn't too much you can do. If you flip your meter switch over to modulation and just key the mic and not talk, I think it's supposed to be, I don't know, 30 mils, something like that.
Well, this one's not reading correctly at all because I can't get that low over.
Yeah, I think it's got enough non-linearity in there that it's making you kind of wide. So I don't know. I'm not sure what caused that because it used to sound really, really clear, and I probably wouldn't notice it if I wasn't watching it on the scope here. But I mean, it sounds okay. It's a little bit overdriven sounded, but not objectionable or anything. It's just what I see, and you're up there. You're up from 3715. You're up to like 3728 or something like that. I mean, it's just super wide.
Yow. I don't think it's overdriving the. Well, we know it's not overdriving linear. I got the linear out. I'm not sure. This is a AF68 I got from you a couple years ago, and it being a boat anchor, something could have went south in it too. And I may have it maladjusted. In fact, I was fiddling with it the other day, so I'm going to go back and go through a full tune-up on it and see what happens next time around. Over.
Yeah. Well, what about your grid current? I think your function switch, the far left-hand position is the oscillator. Then the second position is your final grid current, and you peak that up to I think it's supposed to be at like 2.5 or 3 milliamps.
Yeah, and that's way too high. There we go. I brought it down. Does that sound any better? I can't see what the grid. This meter is pretty foggy, so it's hard to see what it is. Does that sound any better, over?
Yeah, a little better, but it's still too wide. Interesting. I guess you can look at yourself on your SDR.
Yeah, I'll get into this thing and start looking. It's pretty wide right now. Come to think of it, after looking up here on the SDR.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from being so close to it, but I can tell here. Yeah. Anyway, you get your 160 antenna back up yet?
No, that's what I was supposed to do today. When I sat down in that recliner and just flaked out, I've got it ready to go up. I had to completely move it, different trees and everything else. And of course, I'm somewhat allergic to cold, really cold. So when it started getting warmer, I started getting more active, and I should have had it up today, darn it. And hopefully I'll get better receive signal, better amplitude. As I've expressed before, I think that the receive signal decays, the level of receive signal decays quicker with these with any antenna as you go closer to the ground. They can talk about quiet signal all they want, but what I think you're really getting is a reduced amplitude in the receive signal, and you usually got enough power to not be that noticeable, or in my case I would have. So I'm hoping to get it higher and pick up more signal from Bob up there. Over.
Yeah, he's using a random piece of wire about 300 feet long, and it runs from tree to tree. I don't think it's up too high. Kind of zigzags around the yard. He feeds it on the end with a tuner, and no radials or anything. But that isn't going to change. It was the night before last. We were on there, and this guy broke in. I think he was a 2 call sign, and he said he was on a cruise ship off the coast of New Zealand. Well, it turned out his station is in Florida, and he had a good signal, had a super big antenna. Actually, it was one of those broadband antennas, resistor type job, but it was up 80-some feet and 171 feet long, so it was doing pretty good. And he was on a ship using his cell phone and controlling his rig back in the shack from New Zealand.
No, that's one for the books. I've heard of it, but never encountered it. I've encountered it once or twice, but mostly just local control. That's pretty interesting. N4LQ, WA4EVK.
Yeah, it was interesting. He's got the cruise ship is online. They've got a camera online that shows it rotates a camera 360 degrees, and it's constantly live streaming as they cruise along. And he was heading to Tasmania or somewhere like that. I forgot where, but you can sit there and watch him. It's not very interesting. Anyway, well, I'll let you go, because I guess you need to get back to TV or something there. WA4EVK, N4LQ.
Yeah, N4LQ, WA4EVK. Hopefully should be on there tomorrow night. If we have any kind of decent weather tomorrow, I'll get that thing pulled up and get it in place. The last one stayed up 5 years, so I can't gripe too much. I'm putting the same antenna back up. The darn tree got either lightning struck or something that, I don't think lightning struck, I think it just started dying. And finally, a big limb fell out of it, took the antenna out with it. So I had to find a different tree even. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. N4LQ, WA4EVK, be clear.
All right.